Hello, everyone. We'll start in a few minutes. Happy New Year to you all. Hello and welcome to the Smart Money Talk. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you are well rested and ready to make 2020 a successful year. This program is proudly brought to you by Access Pension Trust, a private pension provider. You can kindly reach us on 0302 738 555. 0302-738-555 for all your retirement savings solutions. Remember to follow us on all our social media to receive regular updates. My name is Mimiana Niapia and I'll be your host for today. So by the grace of God, we finally ended 2020 and entered into a new year. And it's an opportunity for us to start afresh. Today, we are very fortunate to have on the Smart Money Talk, Dr. Richmond Kwame Frimpong. He is the Executive Director for Financial Literacy Foundation. If you know him well, you know that he's very known for championing financial literacy in Ghana and beyond. Welcome, Dr. Frimpong. We are very, very fortunate to have you here on the Smart Money Talk. But before we continue, remember to keep your questions in our comment section. That's if you are watching from our social media handles, or if you're watching from Zoom, you can drop it in our chat box. The great thing about today's session is that we are also going to be rewarding 3 lucky winners for answering the question of the month correctly. So remember to look out for the question of the month, either in your chat box or on your screen, and answer it correctly, and we'll pick 3 lucky people to take pension vouchers. We really want you to be rich in 2021, so make sure you don't miss out on this one. So, Dr. Frimpong, once again, welcome.
Thank you, Mimi.
I trust that everything is fine at your end. Okay. So 2020, as we all described it, was an interesting year, not anything we all expected. Given how 2020 went, would you advise that we plan for 2021?
Well, thank you. Let me start this way. There's a British adage. The British Army, they have an adage, and they call it the 7 P's. And it simply means proper prior planning prevents poor performance. Proper prior planning prevents poor performance. And so it is even for the reason of sometimes the uncertainties, the difficulties and the challenges that the new year may bring, that you must spend time to plan, so that just in case those uncertainties show their heads, you still know how to navigate your way through to achieve what you want to achieve. If you don't, then you will be a product of what we call happenstance. The explanation, maybe with an example, is that when you know that you are taking a flight to another country, say Nairobi, a city called Nairobi in Kenya, because you know you want to get there by, say, the second week of another month, what happens is that you get all your things ready, and let's say you get to the airport, and by a circumstance that is beyond your control, let's say they announce that the flight is not going or taking off the time that was announced earlier for which you planned. The fact that the flight has delayed takeoff does not mean you have lost your objective of going to the city of Nairobi in Kenya. You will still keep your cool and be intact, waiting for the day that unforeseen circumstance will be probably taken off, so that you can still follow through your plan. So if you say because of the uncertainties and the difficulties of the past year, you are giving yourself an excuse why you shouldn't plan, then it is even going to be worse, assuming the same thing happens in the new year without a plan.
Great, great. So you're encouraging us to plan a plan, make sure that even when there are uncertainties, you are still able to navigate your way. Thank you so much, Dr. Frimpong. So being that you're encouraging us to plan, how do we go about planning effectively for 2021? I've seen a lot of information out there that setting new year resolution doesn't mean anything will change. So how do we make sure we are doing this and doing it effectively?
Right. So for the one who is watching us, very simple. I mean, putting together an effective plan is not anything complex. It's a very simple, I want you to see it as a very simple act that you put yourself into. If you have not had any opportunity to do this before, first and foremost, get a book and dedicate that book or call that book 2021. And to begin with, ask yourself, what picture do you want to see yourself becoming at the end of this new year? What picture of yourself, of your career, of your marriage, of your education, whatever it is in your life that matters to you? What picture do you want to see of that thing about your life becoming, so that you can have an idea about the picture of that future you are envisaging? When you picture what you want it to become, so maybe it's about my finances. At the end of the year, probably I want to have a net balance of, say, 10,000. That is the picture of my financial future at the end of the year. Or maybe about my academics. At the end of the year, if I'm still schooling in the university, I want to move from GPA 3.0 to maybe 4.0. That is the picture. If I am a parent, I want to, by the end of December, to be able to make time for my kids, my husband, and my family. That is the picture of your future. So whatever it is, take a keen interest in what you want that part of your life to look like by the end of this new year, and put it down. Don't be bothered about the challenges that may not make it become a reality. Just capture the picture of that future and write it in this book I have cited. Then when you are done, because you decided on these things in sections of your life, it can be 2 areas of your life, 5, 10, it depends on you. But when you are done, you now ask yourself, where am I now with regards to this particular area of my life that I am envisaging to get to becoming so and so? Then you now write the picture of the reality. So I want to have 10,000 at the end of the year in my bank account. But as I speak now, the reality may be that I have just 200 cedis. So then between the reality today and the picture of your future tomorrow at the end of the year, your next question is, what must I do so that I can move from 200 to 10,000 in my finances? Then you begin to brainstorm. You begin to ask. You begin to engage people who are experienced in that area. You begin to read about it. You even begin to pray if you believe in that. And whatever you notice is going to work for you, you put it down. And then when you are done, you commit to make everything you say you are going to do reflect on your daily routine, on your weekly routine, on your monthly routine, on your quarterly routine, and then half year and end of year, so that you'll be able to achieve it. And when you are done with that, you can now put these things in areas that bring the picture of what you are supposed to do daily to mind, so that you don't forget about what to do next.
Those are very great tips that you have shared with us right now. So if you don't have your 2021 book, it's not too late. We are just into January or the year by 14 days. It's not too late. Get your book, put 2021 on it. And you also mentioned that we should have a picture of the future we want to see by the end of the year, so we can have different aspects of our lives and the future we want to see, and also assess where we are now, which is very important, to be able to determine the kind of effort we need to put in to get to where we want to be. And then also making sure that our daily routines, weekly routines, what we do quarterly, all add up to what we intend to become. Those are very massive tips. Thank you, Dr. Frempong. Okay, so what are some of, you mentioned a few areas, but I want us to focus on some of the areas that we should be planning for. Yeah, let's start with what you will recommend as some of the areas we should be planning for.
Right. So there are some areas that are general that must become what I call your proton. Your proton areas are the areas that are critical and very mandatory. So you may have several other areas of your life you'd want to focus on, but these ones, don't miss them. Number one is your spiritual life. Your spiritual life. This is your relationship with God. Either as a Muslim, a Christian, a Buddhist, whatever, you are a human being that has a soul and spirit. And this is a general belief that I believe everybody accepts. So everything that has to do with your soul and your relationship with God, I believe you should have an idea as to how far you want to get to on that. The next thing is your health and well-being. You can have all the goals in the world. If you don't have this life, this body in good shape, you can't achieve much. So your health and well-being is another thing you have to look at. The other thing you have to look at is your finances. So critical. You can have all the goals. You can be so strong in mind and in power and in everything. But if you don't have money that can drive that vision, forget it. So your financial goals, very important. The next is your relationship and people skills. There is nothing you can achieve alone as an individual if you really want to go far. And so you will need people. And that is why you have to deliberately have relationship goals. These relationship goals can be categorized into three. People that you will look up to and hear from and give and take direction from, take counsel from, mentorship from. Those are the people who have gone ahead of you in the areas you are planning to get to. So you must, in your relationship goals, you must have mentors that you would be going to, you'll be following, you'll be taking tips from and guidance from. The next is you must deliberately have colleagues who are thinking the same way you are thinking. The reason is that when all is said and done, you are the average of at least top 5 people who are your closest friends. And so you must, if you want to get to a particular place, you cannot say you want to get to Cape Coast and you are not in the bus that is going to Cape Coast, that everybody in that bus is going to Cape Coast. If you find yourself in a bus that is going to Navrongo, everybody there is going to Navrongo. And so when you are on your way to Cape Coast, you will see that you find yourself among people in a relationship or on the bus or on the journey that are going there. And when we get to maybe Yamransa and you want to get down, because they are also going there, they will be able to tell you that we are not there yet. If the bus breaks down and you are frustrated and you want to decide not to go again, because they can wait, they will drag you along. That is why you must be deliberate about your colleague and friends that you choose. And strangely, it is out of that that you may even pick your spouse in the future. And so you take that also as very important. And the last part of this relationship goals is a group of people that you are taking responsibility for. When you have responsibility for bringing other people up to a certain level, you are always encouraged to become successful and to strive because you know other people are looking up to you. So relationship goals also matter. The next is personal development and academics. The academics here is not really just about schooling, but schooling is part. But most importantly, you should be aiming at becoming better all the time, academically or as a self-learning person. You learn yourself. You must always strive to become better, to be knowledgeable in many things, and even in the things you do, because it is when you know more that you become more. And when you become more in terms of value and depth, then you can earn more. And so academics and personal development goals are also very, very important. And the rest, you can add up any other things that you would want to add to it. But don't miss these ones.
Very, 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 very relevant. So we spoke about spiritual goals, health, finance, relationships, and we mentioned the mentor, your colleagues, and those you are picking up. We also mentioned the last one is
Academic and personal development.
academic and personal development goals. That is really, really great. Okay, since we are from a finance house, we will just want to narrow it down to financial goals. What are some of the financial goals that you would advise us to set for ourselves in 2021?
Well, I think the greatest financial goal anybody watching us should be looking at for this year is the goal of financial independence or the goal of financial immunity. And I'm going to break it down so you appreciate more. One of the critical challenges that the past year brought is the exposure of people's financial vulnerabilities, that there can be a time where everything comes to a standstill. And if you want your life to progress, you should be somebody who have prepared to still support yourself financially, assuming your regular source of income is not coming. So your greatest financial goal should be your financial immunity or independence goal, where at least you have built some kind of backup for not less than 12 months. Not less than 12 months. In the worst case scenario, you should build a financial backup that is at least 6 months. So if you can do between 6 months and 12 months, that you have mobilized funds, that just in case your source of income ceases, either out of losing a job or either out of losing income or either out of a global pandemic like this that disturbs everything and disrupts everything, you should be able to survive on that for some time. The next goal you must have is the goal that gives you immunity in the 4 different areas of financial services. And most importantly, the future of your career when all is said and done and you're not working again. So your retirement goals, you must have a retirement goal. And here, if you are listening, when I say retirement, don't be in a hurry to think 60. Don't be in a hurry to think 50. Retirement is when you decide not to work because you want to. Many people are not working today, not because they want to. They are not working because they have to. They don't have any option. Some are also working as I speak now. They wish they could just stay home and just enjoy their life, but they don't have an option. They are actually beyond 60, but they have to get to work. Why? Because many people don't make retirement a part of an everyday life. And so set your financial immunity goals and set your retirement goals. These 2 are the critical financial goals you must set.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So we are looking at financial immunity, financial independence, and we are talking about making sure you are saving towards your retirement, not retirement being 50, 55 or 60 as we know it. That's the formal retirement definition for retirement, but having enough so that at any point in your career, if you think you don't feel like working, you can take a break and do so comfortably without any implications on your financial well-being. Thank you so much, Doc. Those are very great insights you're sharing with us. Okay, so can you share some tips on how we can achieve our 2021 goals? A lot of the time we set goals, we are excited about it in January. By February, the excitement is going down. By mid-year, we've forgotten about the goals. What can we do to ensure that in December 2021, when we meet again, we will be excited because of the goals we've been able to achieve?
Right. So first and foremost, I will say that get help. First, get help. There is nobody who has become anybody in life, in any area, in any sphere, in any department of life. Let me even take sports as an example. There is no sports personality that is regarded as a star without a coach or an instructor. Name them. So if you want your goals in 2021 to become a reality and not just a wish list, get somebody who can whip you into line to make sure you do. And so you look at the areas of your life and you look at who can guide you. Now, I will recommend and say that when it comes to financial independence, thank God, Access is getting this smart money thing together and guiding people all the time. There are financial planners in there. Get to their office, reach out to them, and get a financial planner who can link you up to many other ways of making sure your goals are achieved. Beyond that, you can also reach out to as you go to YouTube, you type Richmond Kwame Frimpong, you can get help. Or anybody else you think has gone ahead and can guide you to achieve your goals after you've done all the things we have shared. If you do this, that is the singular most important thing that can make you achieve your goals. Lastly, the picture of your future that you captured in the 2021 goals book, the significant one that must help you, get pictures of them. So if it's about your financial goal, get a picture of what future you wanted and make it a DP, make it a screensaver, make it very visible all the time so that you can see it all the time. Anything you can see, you think about. And anything you can think about, you get assurance that it is possible. And whenever you notice it is possible, it gets delivered into your hand. If you do these two things, you will be surprised how well every day you'll be forced to do something little that you take you closer to achieving that goal.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, especially with the point about getting help. I think culturally we've been trained to assume that when you do things on your own, you are more matured. So it's very important to get help in all aspects of your life. And as he rightly mentioned, we are all here to make sure you achieve whatever financial goals as well as life goals you have set for yourself. So the contact has been shared in the chat box. You can reach out and then pick the contact and call us after the session, and we'll be very glad to help. You can also visit Doc's page, YouTube, LinkedIn. He's everywhere. So you can also visit him for more financial literacy content. If you have any questions, kindly drop it in our chat box. That if you are watching from Zoom, if you are watching from any of our social media handles, please drop it in the comment section. Okay, there's a question coming in. Someone wants to ask a question, so let's allow. Nase wants to ask a question. Nase. Okay, Nase, kindly drop your question in our comment section because the microphone has been disabled. So kindly drop it in our comment section and then, or our chat box, sorry, and we'll do well to have it answered for you. Okay, so kindly type it in our chat box, Nase. Thank you. So while we wait for the questions to come in, and are there any other areas that we haven't touched that you would want to share with our audience?
The other area you must set goals in are your career goals, your career goals. And if you are watching and you are working, it's important to have career goals by looking at maybe if you are in an organization where you see yourself climbing up in that organization. When you have career goals, it helps you to have a certain work value and ethic that drives you to achieve your goals. But when you don't, you'll be stuck at one place. And so begin to find out in your office where you can rise from where you are to and what it requires and what you must do to achieve that. So that as you work daily, you can work towards moving up from one ladder to another.
Okay, okay. So we have a few questions that have come in. So I would read them and then we'll have them answered. Desmond is asking doctor's name for subscription at social media.
Richmond Kwame Frimpong.
Richmond Kwame Frimpong. You can follow him on all the social media handles. Okay, please, what's the rate if I want to do a private retirement investment? Please, you can contact us privately on the number provided 0302 738 555, and we'll help you with any information needed on our Access Pension Plan, which is our package for those who want to plan towards their retirement. You can contact us and we'll be glad to help you. Okay, Nase said he just joined, but I want to know what the main topic is, please. We are discussing how to start 2021 right. And so if you miss out on this, it will be on our social media handle, so you can go back later and then watch it again. Okay. Okay, so we have another question coming from Stephen, and he's asking, can I increase my SNIT payment without a rise in pay? I don't know if you want to answer this. Or
I would. SNIT is statutory and it's a calculated amount you must pay as a statutory requirement. But
Okay.
if you have some extra that you want to pay from that question, then the best thing you can do is, thankfully, with Access and their
Mhm.
personal pension account, you can keep your extras in that account and you even get some good tax exemptions. It could
Okay.
also go into either your Provident Fund or your Tier 3. My point is that SNET doesn't allow you to say, I want to increase, because there's a specific percentage you pay. But the good thing is that if you have that extra, there's a good place you can put it still in this retirement enclave and talk to Access, and they will show you how you can put those extras into your own retirement account. That will add up to the SNET whenever you are ready to take off.
Okay, thank you, Doc. We have a question coming from Frank from our social media handle, and he's asking what you mean by financial immunity.
Right. So my explanation for financial immunity was your ability to survive for at least 12 months, or in a very worst scenario, 6 months, assuming your regular source of income ceases without having to depend on any third party or to borrow. That shows immunity. You are able to withstand the pressures of no income or income losses. And then financial independence is when you can even go beyond that and your retirement is secured, your pension is secured, your investments are secured, your banking regular are secured, even you have even insurance accounts, and almost everything you need for your future is like a paid future bill, and you don't depend on any third party without working.
Okay, thank you so much, Doc. We have a question from Benjamin Ashali, and he's asking, are there some financial investment plans that can help me reach financial independence?
There are so many, but start with the financial planners at Axis. Usually, just like someone who feels some symptoms and is not feeling too good, you can easily be tempted to just go to the pharmacy shop and begin to say, is there any drug I can buy that can cure this or that?
Mhm.
You may be given something, but when you have not been diagnosed in a lab with a report
Mhm.
that says you are suffering from this and so you need to take this, you'll be surprised that you may be hurting yourself. So again, get help, see Access and their financial planners. They will take you through a diagnostic tool, and that will show what actually you need in your financial services universe. And then you can decide what to do.
Okay, thank you so much, Doc. We have some few more questions coming in. Good afternoon, Mr. And this coming from Seidu. Good afternoon, Mr. and Miss. Please, I am a student of the University of Education, Winneba. I'm a young man that works very hard to take care of myself in university. And this I have been pooling all the money I have for my account. So please, how do I plan as a student to save money so I can be financially immune? Because there's no support from any angle.
Right. So, my brother, this is a good opportunity for you. Two things you can do immediately. Thank God you are able to support yourself financially. But if you want to still make it possible to put some aside, divide your expenses, which is the greatest toll on the money you have, into two. There are some expenses in your life as a student that are statutory or mandatory, like your fees, like food, like water, like any other thing. Ring fence those ones and put them aside, because those ones you don't have any option if you don't spend on those. When you are done, check the balance. The rest is a discretionary expense. You decide what else you need. Maybe I need a phone, maybe I need this, I need that. And try as much as possible to be very circumspect about the discretionary ones. And now make investment an expense in the discretionary, so that you can first take some out of the discretionary, put it somewhere for your future and your own financial immunity, and the rest you can spend it according to anything you want to do.
Okay, great. Let me take some, there are a lot of questions coming in. And let me take some questions from the social media, our social media handles. Financial goals are many. What should I prioritize?
Prioritize the ones that border on making your future financially independent. You have so many financial goals because of your expense expectations, but
Mhm.
prioritize them. Always, when you are setting financial goals, let your future goal determine your financial goal today. Example, maybe I have 500 CDs with me today. There are so many things I want to have. Maybe I want to buy a new phone. Maybe I want to buy a new shoe. Maybe I want to buy some data for a number of things. Those things may take away more than half. But 5 years from now, 2 years from now, I probably want to buy a property. I want to buy a land. That need in that future will determine my financial goal today, so that I'll be pushed to now prioritize what I put aside, so that the others, by delaying gratification, I can spend on a few. So if you want your financial goals to be prioritized, determine what picture of your financial future you want to have. And that will determine what you do today as priority one financially, and what you do tomorrow as priority two.
Okay, thank you so much. And before I read the final few questions that have come in, the question of the month, I hope you are getting your fingers ready. What two key financial goals should you set for 2021? A is educational and project requirements. B, financial immunity and financial independence. C, bank balance and discretionary expense. So those are the questions for today. Let me read it again. What two key financial goals should I set for 2021? A, educational and project for your project. B, financial immunity and financial independence. And C, working on your bank balance and discretionary expenses. Okay, so answer them in the chat box. We'll go ahead and answer the rest of the questions that have come in. Stephen Adam is asking a question. Should I stop saving in order to embark on my project like building a house?
Well, so building a house is a great thing you have to do, but you can't say you are stopping saving to just put your money into building the house, unless the money you have today can complete the house immediately. If it cannot, two things you can do: save to mobilize, to get lump sum, huge amounts. And then when they hit a certain threshold, which is substantial, your own definition of same, can be 1,000, can be 2,000, you lift it out of savings and use it on that project, or you lift it out of savings and put it into an investment account. But don't stop saving, and don't stay at saving, because saving alone will only keep your money safe. But when you move up from savings to investments, where maybe Access can guide you on the retirement side, and any other financial house can guide you on an investment instrument, then you are making good value for your money. I don't know if you just stop saving, then where are you mobilizing to even complete that goal you have with your property? And if you also just mobilize in savings and you also don't graduate into investment, inflation is going to eat away its value, and the savings rate will not be enough to multiply the money for you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Doc. Okay, someone is the name is not so clear, but he's asking, Doc, what kind of investment would you advise, short-term or long-term? Would you advise that one does several short-term investment, for example, 6 months, then move it to long-term when it matures? Or should you rather concentrate on doing long-term investment instead?
Right. So if you are watching us or listening to us, take note of these three things. It will guide you. First, I've said that seek help and get professional diagnostics. So go to Access and let them engage you. They will tell you what you have to do. That is first. Secondly, before you take any investment decision as to whether short-term or long-term, you must always ask yourself three things. Number one, what is my investment objective? What is the reason for which I want to invest? It is so critical because it's your investment objective that will tell what kind of investment you do. Number two, when would I need the money I want to put into an investment? Or what is my recommended minimum holding period? In investment, recommended minimum holding period is when you would want the money back. So when do I need this money back so badly? If you can tell that in duration, it also guides you together with your objective. Then lastly, what is my risk return objective? How bad will I feel assuming I lose a portion, some or all of the money if I put it in an investment that could go bad? That answer will tell your risk assertiveness. And so your objective, your recommended holding period or duration, and then your risk return profile. When these are answered with an expert's advice from financial planners in Access, you can be guided well to know whether to do a short-term or long-term.
Okay, thank you so much, Doc. Thank you so much. I just wanted to add a follow-up question from earlier on, asking about whether to go into building or save. I think for a lot of people, especially building in Ghana, sometimes they feel they have to stop investing and focus on all their energy on building their property. And what do you have to say about this?
Well, two things. Many people think that anytime you are building, the building in itself is an asset. And so I have to stop everything I'm doing and concentrate only on the building. Just having a property mentality and deciding to build doesn't make that property an asset. It could be a liability.
Mm-hmm.
Why? If you are putting all your life earnings into that property, maybe a three bedroom or a story building, and even some people will even take loan to do that. And when all is said and done, you'll probably just go and stay in that property. It is great, but is it enough to take you out of any financial difficulty when you finish and you are living in that house? The only thing it will save you is your monthly rent. But your monthly rent may not be as high as the burden of taking care of your child's school, your children in school, or the burden of even paying for a medical bill that comes up as an emergency. That is why you cannot say that because I'm building, I can't invest. Because your life is not just about where you lay your head only. It's a matter of many things. So you must build your life such that even when you are doing this property, which sometimes takes so long, you don't stop saving or investing. Why? Because sickness will not say, I won't come because you are building. Taking your children out of school because of inability to pay will not say, oh, this man is building, so the school fees, we can postpone it. Nothing will wait for you to finish building. And so you must also build multiple sources of financial immunity. So you save a bit, you invest a bit, you think about retirement a bit, you even do insurance a bit, and then you plan to also finish your house.
Okay, thank you very much. The last question is actually about insurance. So we'll finalize the Q&A session with the last question, which is from Desmond, and he's asking, is it advisable to have a policy with an insurance company? Is it a good investment?
So first and foremost, insurance in itself is not an investment instrument. So if you want to take an investment decision, and after answering the three questions I posed, you will see that your answers will not bring in insurance, because the second one asks about when you need it back. In insurance is a safeguard against a potential risk that may rear its head, either in life as life insurance or about any other thing aside life, which is general insurance. It's a safeguard. And so when you are even paying an insurance policy or the premium, what they call the premium, your expectation is not to put it there and go and take it after 3 years or 2 years. So the example of general insurance, I don't do a comprehensive insurance on my car and after paying, decide that at the end of the year, I will go back for that money. It is a safeguard against when there is an event of an accident or something else. If that event does not kick in, you don't get the money back. Why? Because it's a risk aversion program. So you do insurance to just protect your wealth and some of the effort you have put into your financial goals. But it's in great, if you ask me, first and foremost, begin your financial goals with mobilizing your deposit in a savings account. When they become some substantial amount as lump sum, take them, put it into an investment instrument after getting guidance from a financial planner. And then begin to think about your future, because you can't be working all your life. So when will I want to stop working and still be earning income? Then you plan for that also as your retirement goal. And when that has also been taken care of, then you now begin to think, how can I put a protection around any of these things in case there is an issue beyond my control? Then you take an insurance policy for your life, for your children's education, or even for any general matter, fire, theft, or maybe property and things like that.
Thank you so much, Dr. Frempong. You all agree with me that Dr. Frempong has poured so massively in us this afternoon. And by God's grace, we won't put him to shame. We'll make sure our 2020 really turns out well. So thank you so much, Dr. Frempong. I'll announce the question of the week. We have 3 lucky winners. Thank you, everyone, for responding and answering, but unfortunately, we could choose only 3. So we have Benjamin Ashale, we have Ernestina Coleman, Janet Quason. Let me mention the names again: Benjamin Ashale, Ernestina Coleman, and Janet Quason. You just won yourself a pension voucher. We are working towards financial immunity and independence, and this is just a little token from Access to help you achieve those goals we have all agreed to set for ourselves this year. To claim your award or your reward, kindly call us on 0302 738 555. 0302 738 555. The number has already been dropped in our comment section, our chat box, sorry. So just look out for it if you didn't hear it. Thank you everyone for joining us today. It's been a very insightful session. I have picked up so much. I don't know about you, but 2021 already looks fantastic. Remember to follow us on all our social media platforms so that you stay abreast with our schedule, because our next program is going to be in February and you don't want to miss it. We also have financial tips that we share on our social media platform. So take advantage of it. As Doc said, you need to surround yourself with the right people to push you to achieve your goals. So make sure you are following Access. Remember that we are working towards financial immunity and financial independence this year. So no matter who you are, no matter how much you earn, just make the commitment to start something, and I'm sure you'll be very thankful in the future. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining in. Till next month, stay safe. Coronavirus is shooting up, so stay safe out there, so that we'll meet you next month. Take care and have a lovely afternoon.